All right, so hopefully we can two-piece this recording, but you guys can use the chat room. Let's see. We don't have a study. Yeah, use the study room chat right here. It's like literally in the actual live. All right, perfect. All right, so the last request that I got was bowl. And just to go over this one again, one of the areas that yeah, yeah. I'm gonna pull the recording from the other place, but 1340. I would be looking at the leg down to the median. That is going to dictate whether or not you move down to 1150. I seriously respect that level, but I do think that this is going to take its time. And one way that I can see this, at least for now, is you're holding trend, right? So I would not be surprised if there was some sort of a reversal. So at a Bad Bunny concert. You putting this on YouTube? I need you to show this to Bad Bunny. Okay. All right. So that is a bowl. Um, Go ahead and drop your guys' request. If I didn't get to it on the live, go ahead and drop that now so I can take a look at it. If you guys are on TikTok, please join the free Discord. Links in my bio on the website. Somebody's mic is open. Uh-oh. I can't see you. Can only hear you. Says stream is too full. You need it. There's 3 people streaming. How many people are in here right now? We might need a 4th streamer. Okay, yeah. Just click on Ivy's or Diddy's. If you hear 2 of me, mute the stream that you're watching. There should be a little uh, microphone or something, or not a microphone, a speaker icon. Just click on that, and that way you don't hear double of me. All right, let's keep it moving, guys. I want to try to get through this as quickly as possible since we've killed so much time. Again, if you guys are on TikTok, free Discord, you guys can literally join in there. Way easier. All right.
Hey guys, please mute your microphone. Thank you.
I posted my Tesla chart in charting. Did I do charting or Tesla? No. Wait, no, I did, yes. But let me see. In charting? Where at in charting? I don't see that one. What are you guys PSTG up? Oof. Okay, so that obviously might be traveling down. That might be actually something that doesn't come back to fill that gap. If it, yeah, you're very close to uh, being able to take this one much further down. That being said, you have 5340. That is your target from here. I suspect that you would be able to wick down to 5215 intraday and bounce and hold yourself back up. So keep that in mind. But yes, if you do break cost basis, I'd be aiming for 4833 and runners probably into 46. So, all right, AG. Now, Stelio is trying to short this thing, and understandably so. Not a big fan of how this one moves, at least down. Down, it seems like it does not like to sell off as easily. I mean, it does. It gets the job done, empty space. So we got to, if you're in this play or you're looking for this play to work, take your fucking trade. Again, you can be scared and pussyfoot around the trade, but it is there. You probably need a better expiration because of how it does move. But the first target is going to be right at 750. Second target should be at 731. And at that point, that's where you'd be looking to see whether or not the candle closes underneath that, where you could let price continue to fall, or if it bounces, thus creating a channel. Now, as you can see, I just made that channel up, right? And that's fine because These are only projections that I'm putting out there in case they end up playing out. Now, one of the ways that I spot channels is by a wide fluctuation in price. I know some of you guys in here haven't taken the Potterbox workshop, but I spill sauce anyway, right? I'm a messy chef. We have a wide move up, right? Big move up, and a complete reversal right back down. This crew a lot of the time changes trend and will create a downtrend down or a uptrend up, right? Wide fluctuation in price, a channel is born, a baby channel. All right. These channels are just, they are not the most important thing, right? They are not God's gift to green earth. They are quite simply something that I use to pick a direction, right? Because sometimes on the weekly, you're moving up. And then sometimes on the 24-hour, you're moving down. But then you're bouncing off of that bottom of that channel on the 24-hour, and you're in a 4 or maybe 2 1 hour uptrend. So if you're short, you got to wait. If you're long or playing the bounces, you're using that, right? All right. Let's see what else do we got here. Flip. Bounce on 950 for 212 for day trade slash swing potential. Okay, so you said bounce on 950. I never met that guy. I'm sorry. All right. Anyway, that is a range, right? And that is, yes, very good. That is cost basis, right? So your question is, can this be a reversal trade? Now, first of all, you catch me dead before I trade Cliff, day trade Cliff. Definitely a swing trading setup for me. Now, could you take that day trade or take a swing trade like you would a day trade with a bounce off of this? I do think yes, very much that this will bounce. I have actually zero doubts about it. Now, where I don't know, right, is whether or not it's going to reverse. Now, if I decide to take that trade, I need it to get back outside of what it got out before, right? Real simple. If you dip your foot into the sand trap, it's the same top of the sand trap that you got to dig yourself out of. If you're on TikTok, you could be in the Discord for free right now. Link in my bio, and that way you can put your request here, and I'll see them. Also, you could hear my voice clear. All right. So, moving on. I'm gonna delete this. Get out of here. All right. So yes, to answer your question, it could, but until and this is actually we'll delete all of this because this is not useful. This would be right. That's box one. There's a little pocket of empty space in there, and then we got box two, right? And that's what you're pushing off of there. So yes, if you can bounce there, pull yourself back out, recover floor A, and punch through that box, you're pretty much guaranteed cost basis, and that could reverse that back up and out towards 12. But does that happen? We don't know. We have to watch this to read and react, right? How do you respond at cost basis? Is it weak? Does it go up and touch the top and then reject? Does it bounce really hard and fast off of cost basis without any sort of retest and fly straight up to resistance? And that's the first place that it stops. You're coming back down, right? 9 times out of 10, if it just stops there and just chops, you're coming back down. Yeah, if you guys are on TikTok, again, free Discord, link in my bio on the website, little Discord thing. You can join the Discord and chart with us. All right. Let's see here. eBay down. There's a video of me on the Kramer show asking him about eBay. And I would say that was probably somewhere in here. Yeah, definitely somewhere in there. And he told me I had horses, but I thought he said I had poor sense and was insulted for 2 days straight. But that being said, this is at all-time highs. I cannot help you, right? I'm being honest with you. Every trader, every strategy has a weak spot. Now, how do I avoid my weak spot? I just don't, right? I just don't do it. I don't trade all-time highs. I don't try to. If it's like an earnings play going into all-time highs, maybe. But at the end of the day, right now, we are operating inside of this channel, right? And we are at the highs. So unless you're looking at this to reverse, which even then, I really couldn't be much help because it's all going to be based off of what's underneath you and it's going to be read and react, right? So you can already see on the hourly here, you've got a little range there, and then you've got a nice, you can see the consolidation that you've retested off of 88.50. So there's signals down, right? I would say if you're looking short, right, you need this to reject again. Or if it breaks out past it and it comes back down underneath it, you could start the short there. You could start the short with a breakdown underneath this floor again, or 87.75 kind of gives you a four short. All right. Let's see here. Oracle got frozen when you were going over it. Oh, that's right. 24-hour. It's really funny. One time I played VR and I ran into this dude who worked at Oracle for like since they started. He like knew the owner by name and everything, but he was like, I hate that guy. He's a piece of shit. He's like, that company's gonna burn to the ground one day. I'm just sitting inside of like a magical forest in VR, just listening to this guy rant. Um, so that being said, you are at cost basis, right? So this is definitely something that you could be looking Monday for a reversal. Now this is a weak ass box, right? You got two tops. Well, really, you don't even have two tops. This is more of a range. Actually, yeah, I take this back. This is not cost basis. It is the 50% mark of this range, but it's not cost basis or not a box, right? Reason being, we have one here, we've got one there, and that's it. You don't have anything else. Now, if the median breaks, that promises the floor. If the floor is lost, you can look lower. That being said, we have a channel, right? Seems like we've been trading in this right here. And not to mention on the 24-hour, you did gap down underneath 250. So it is now pretty much on Oracle to bounce, reverse, and go fill that gap fill to turn this into its own range, which is typically how stocks will get out of a mean, nasty reversal like this. Otherwise, if this does punch down and give you a signal to the downside, you would be looking at your next target being at 234. And then at that point, I'd be looking, because this is an old box that you punch through, I would be looking towards that 227.80. Ultimately, if you take this short and you really want it down, I think that it's worth it to try for 216. I think that's where the real play is. This right here is whatever, but you slap 2.5 or 2-3 weeks on this sucker to the downside, I wouldn't aim for anything less. So what's up to does the fact that August every year the past 5 years has been red on SPY affect my decisions? No. I really truly think that I could trade inside of a box, literally, but and metaphorically, but um, I think I could trade without the news. Like I mean, literally cut off from all flow, news, all of that. Now, I don't say that to be cocky. I say that as a discipline. That's my discipline. I don't care what anyone or anything. I mean, there are some things that can be useful information like short volume and, you know, if we know that a mass of people are starting to talk about something, like sure, that can raise volume, that can start squeezes. KSS was a good example of that. But for arbitrary things like, well, for the last 5 years it's dumped. I can't and wouldn't be like, what's my profit target on a August every 5 years in August it dumps, like dump square, win. So for me, if that is true, then I'm going to see that in the chart. Now, to your point, we're seeing some of the strongest pullbacks that we've seen in the first day of August. And this has jammed us or pushed us down into areas that definitely can cause continued panic or continued movement to the downside. So do I take that to consideration? No. I focus on the chart because the chart is going to tell me where to get in and where to get out. If that happens to be true while I'm doing it, cool. But if you told me that every year it's bearish and I see a candle close going towards the floor on the 24-hour with empty space underneath it, I'm going to do the same thing I do to the upside to the downside. And this eliminates all of the noise because at the end of the day, right, it is noise. It is just somebody else finding a cycle and trying to point that out because they need an edge or they're looking for an edge, right? I don't think that us dumping every 5 years is an edge unless you actually know how to navigate the chart. So if you wanted to take that information into consideration, that's fine. But that's the same reason, like if you decide you want to look at patterns. If you want to look at patterns, fine, use the boxes. They'll be there, trust me. Perfect example was Nvidia years ago, where we had a perfect head and shoulders. And I had a box that I said, okay, well, if Nvidia breaks this, we go into the lows. If it bounces, this thing is going to blow people out of the water. And I can tell you what, that's exactly what the hell it did. Look, perfect textbook head and shoulders. Ugh. Bam, bam. Right? Everybody's fucking dream. Pause. Where's the box? Right here. You don't go anywhere. And then look at this. This is just like honestly, I don't know. Maybe this is where my autism thrives. But look at the one, you give them a little bit. Two, you make them think. Three, you scare them a little bit. Then you reassure them. Right? No, it's gonna go down. I pinky promise. And then you slap the ever living dog shit out of them for the next couple of weeks until there's not a single short left. And then you let them have a little bit of, little hope until that was gone forever. God, could you imagine? Yeah, shorted Nvidia because it had a head and shoulders. All right, Biden. All right. Let's see. We've got repel. I'm hoping you want this down because like repel down. Nope. That's obviously probably something you're looking at towards the upside. I would be looking at a target of $9, right? Period. Uh, right there, 912. TikTok, it is really hard for me to see your guys' comments right now with my phone. Again, I welcome you to the free Discord. Right there. All of us are in there. Gang, gang. It's free. It's in my bio. All right, let's see here. Inverted but looks ripe. What is it? Let's see here. Tesla. So let me go ahead and make a statement here because this is obviously an opportunity to do that. This is absolutely, as far as I'm concerned, going to move. This is a repeated process, right? To me, this is that, right? And it's going somewhere. Now, we went through Tesla and we marked out the cycles that it's likely going to go through, right? We did this and we actually, I mean, I was even blown away at my own fucking discovery that if Tesla stays in consolidation past basically 10 days, 9 to 10 days, then more than likely it's going to stay in that range for a month. And after that month, it's pretty much guaranteed to rip, right? Or move in one direction or another. I would say right now that is true, right? We have, just like we have had and I would say that this area of consolidation, God, does that not look exactly the same? Hold on, I'm tripping. It does pretty much look pretty. Now, again, up, down, all around. I'm not going to use this chart. This one could dump just as easy as it could rip. But I will say this, right? We have a confluential. Ooh, no, come here, little shit. So we're not quite to the floor yet, but we have a confluential floor, right? That means that the top of this box and that floor is basically aligning with this trend, right? The uptrend. Now, let me explain why this is such an important level. This is where sellers control the price, and if your foot slips and dives and closes underneath it, we could be expecting more downside, right? And we have a box in that large area of consolidation that would absolutely signal it, right? So a 281.50 breakdown would give you a target and a price target of 250, 250. 50% mark, empty space right here. Listen, if we go up, fine. But if we go down, remember what I'm saying right now. That is the fucking price target. I'd bet I'd bet my whole fucking never mind. I bet a lot. So that being said, if we can bounce, right? Or if this is something where we see, and again, how do we know? I say bounce, but that's arbitrary, right? How do we know whether it's going to actually reverse? Okay, well, cool, it bounces. What does it need to grab? Right now, this is kind of a universal level here. You'll see it, right? Disgusting. That's 301.70. So if we lose it and we come back down here, or we go back down here, every single one of the floors that you lost or the one you're about to lose will be the mark in which you look for the reversal. Now, this is also going to require that you do lower time frame analysis, right? Now here's your trade. It gets easy. It gets easier. I promise you that. If you're trading and you're using this system, it gets easier. Repetition, 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 repetition. I swear to God. So now that I have figured out where these key marks are on higher time frames, now I can actually go out and map out on the hourly time frame something that would basically give me the ability to have a great entry on a lower time frame, right, with solid volume. Gang, right? So above 309.40, we'll have an immediate target. So probably getting into this trade a little bit earlier or something on the lower time frame, right? Because I don't want to take my trade here and have a resistance right in front of me. This is problem solving. This is something you're going to get good at. This is something that is required the more difficult or the more problematic that the setup is, right? Doesn't mean it can't be a good setup, but if it requires you to go down into a lower time frame multiple times, that means it's going to take more of your time. Lower time frame, more of your time. Higher time frame, less of your time, right? So if this is one that we can go to the higher time frame, but it doesn't have empty space and consolidation that we can just say, oh, that rips right through there, then we have to go to the lower time frame to establish that same thing and do it step by step. So I would be looking on the 30-minute or maybe even the 15-minute. Answers. See that? The answer is on the chart. You don't need me. I'm on the chart. No, I'm just kidding. 304 or 304.70, right? That was a floor. That is our ceiling. Problems are solved. Boom. Right? So even on the tiniest little fucking time frame, let's say I go down and touch the imbalance on that wick and I bounce back up. Step 1 could be an entry. Step 2 could be an entry. Step 3 could be an entry. Picking up what I'm put, and then right there, you probably should have already gotten in, you dork. Now, at that point, you're going to have and now that we're on the 15-minute, things are going to change. You need a 15-minute candle close outside of 307.82, right? If you can get a candle close outside of that, I would be looking at the range to your left, right? And this is a tiny little range, but it is a range. Oh, that's 50% of the range. It's almost like we're not making shit up. 308.50, right? Now, we know what good movement looks like, and we want to see that type of movement because you're going to need it to get up to this floor. When you get to said floor, right? We get up here. I would fully expect to consolidate, right? Look at what's under here. Look, that's where the majority of your volume is at. So just to scare the fucking piss out of you, it'll probably come back. Retest. Box it. Why do you need a box? Because you got more empty space up here. And that would be something that would likely give Tesla the ability to actually reverse. And oh my God. You see that? That is borderline sexual. I didn't even mean to line that up. So that is what you would be looking for on Tesla on a lower time frame to problem solve your way through the 24-hour. Wow. Now, as a solid rule of thumb, this fucker is going to be where we could say that Tesla breaks out. Breaks out. How many times do you need to see this one line get touched before you touch it too? I hope nobody's like in a room with the door closed and somebody's listening on the other side of the door. He's not doing finance. All right. By the way, if you guys are on TikTok again, free Discord is wide open. We're in there right now in the lobby, loitering. No diddy. But I hope you listen. You take that clip of what I just told you, told you, right? I know that seems like a lot. Now takes me there took me I probably a billion fucking charts to get here. You know, I've charted and watched this stuff happen over and over and over. Right? You can do that too. Um, but this is something. Take your time. If you like the setup, if you see, I mean, Tesla probably has insane short volume on it. There's probably, I mean, look at how much sellers have just stepped up at every turn to push this thing down. If it could actually squeeze up and out, somebody's mic is open. Pillow talking to me. But that is where we could see a very, very strong move up. Now, if sellers really have it pinned that they're driving this fucker down, listen, I'm not joking. It's almost part of my DNA. I can feel it so strongly, God damn it. That right there will be where you're trading through this box, right? So those long sellers who are looking for a long short down, that'll be, and then look, there's so many sweet treats in here. Got a little gap right there. It might have been already filled, but that being said, you've already, oh God, and this is even better, right? You come down, you hit the floor, you pulled the volume off of it. Great. That's awesome, right? Because that means when you come down, you've already pulled the orders off of that floor. So now all the protection, all the orders that you had sitting there, you've already pulled the volume off of it twice. So I would assume that if you do fall, it'll probably be pretty buttery. I hope Marzell, if you're watching this back weeks from now, that's where you clip it right there. Oh yeah. I mean, butter is oil, you know. Diddy was more of a petroleum guy. I'm more of a dairy man. You know what I'm saying? More of an RFK kind of lover. All right. Grass fed, baby. All right. We just lost about three people. No, I was kidding. All righty. Keep dropping those requests. Uh, let's see what else do we got. Where y'all at? Y'all ain't in the free Discord? There's 100 of you guys in here. Come drop your request right here. We're waiting. Oh God. Snow? Goodwill Hunting. What is that other movie though, where he's like a genius, but all of it is like he like thinks that he's working for the military, and it ends up being like he's just in his garage, losing his shit. That's probably me. All right, so snow is something that I did take a short position on. I tell you what, it was like trying to catch a baby snake covered in oil in a pillowcase. It was wild. It popped up, almost blew me out at the stop loss. But then immediately, because this happened overnight, reversed. So I was able to hang on to it and reposition, and it laid down to one of my targets here. I am eyeballing snow just to keep this pretty simple because it doesn't need to be overcomplicated. I want that, which is 194.3, and I want that at 184.25. Iron Man? No, I don't think that was it. Dude, listen, UPS has gotten the ever living shit kicked out of it, which honestly, holy shit, bro. Are they trying to bankrupt this thing, dude? Holy hell. I know people are going to be trying to dip buy on this thing. Godspeed. I feel like we don't see a real authentic bounce until we get some, I would say 80, 50, period. Now that's on the monthly, right? Now the weekly, it's not really showing any other signs of bouncing. Go to your left. Now you might be thinking, well, that's from fucking 2012. I was just a baby. It doesn't matter. The box is still real, right? The price action in the most recent price action is real. So not is real. 8010, right? Underneath that mark, 8035, sorry. Underneath that mark, there's more empty space all the way to 75. So you better hope to hell if you're a bull, you bounce at 81. Somebody's mic is open. Right. PM. The movie was A Beautiful Mind. That was right. Like I'm actually just have an IT job that my mom got me. And I think I'm doing all of this. Wow. So Philip Morris actually did give you a weekly bounce. No shit. Okay, so then when you went up to go and make a new high or hold a new high, you got pulled right back down. Now that tells me that you might need to consolidate. You can see that's what I was saying last time. Um, but this is, I mean, let's actually go to the 4 hour here. There it is. So now everything that we just were talking about is now revealed, and that just told you where you're going to try to take that trade out. But I would venture to guess, based on how PM light moves most of the time, that you're probably going to have something that looks a little bit like this. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if it dipped a little bit down to 155 and then scooped its way up, but keep your eyes peeled on that. That will be a good trade to the upside. That is where you, if it doesn't look right now, set alerts all over that. Set alerts at cost basis, set alerts at the floor, right? A lot of you guys are not utilizing alerts the way that you should. You could have things going off and catching plays that you had charted. A lot of you guys don't put those indicators on there, so make sure you do. But anyway, over that candle close on the 4 hour, over 167.25. That's a break. So PLTR earnings tomorrow. Yes, sir. Greg Burke. All right. If you guys are on TikTok, it's your last call here. Please come and drop your request in this channel. I'll fly through really quick and get those done. You guys are kind of behind my back right now, so I can't really see you guys too well. Take a look at the PC though. All right, there you go. Stayed a little bit longer, but I do need to go help Peyton get the kids ready for school tomorrow. Right. Am I still looking at ALK? ALK will remain on the long watch list until the alert goes back off. So yes, but not now. Obviously, it pulled away from us, so we just that's it. I mean, we just let it go. I mean, I just like, okay, you're not on the watch list today. Yeah, but I'm not just gonna. I wouldn't buy it just because, you know. Like I would still the same area that I'm telling you that I would buy it. You know, I mean, good bounce, 3 bounces now off the bottom, so we could definitely look at it going into this week. But at the end of the day, my equity needs to be situated. You know, I didn't get it off of a solid bounce, but my equity needs to be situated somewhere where I can feel basically carefree about it, right? I want it to be that is a strong top that I could confidently say that if you broke out outside of that, went up and then came back down and confidently closed underneath it, I'd accept a small loss and I would get the hell out. Do I ever slim down the watch list you put together on Friday end of day? Yes, of course. There's a filter process, right? We find the watch list, we build the watch list, then we filter it through, do these contracts even fit the script? My whole thing here is low risk, high reward, right? I could make more with 500 than most people could make with 15 grand because I because I literally just on TikTok, I think earlier today, saw somebody explaining their trade. They used somewhere around 15 bands to make just a little over $1,200 on a quick scalp. But regardless, you know, so yeah, anyway, ALK, it is what it is. It got a good bounce, but I'm not going to sit and fuck around with something, right? Until it is going to do what I need it to do. This is just, you know, stock market is unforgiving. We should be the same way when a stock doesn't work out. If you don't work out, break up. We're not together anymore. I don't love you, right? But as soon as it's over 54.28, I'm deleting Tinder. We're together now, right? We're together. HPQ. I think that's one that we had on the watch list previously, right? Now it makes it. Gunter's a player. You got a good box. I'll delete. Okay, hold on. I didn't mean it. Never mind. Rewind. Sometimes we don't think about what we say before we say it. Just come down. So there's your floor, right? So this is because it's in a box, right? It is something that we can't really make a decision on until we see how it closes underneath or above it. So this could be where you bounce it and look for a reversal over 2507 and take it up into that empty space. It has, I mean, honestly, part of me really feels like you're waiting on news. Let's watch this one this week. Write that one down. That's a weird looking little shit right there. HPQ. What do they do? Make keyboards or some shit? Oh, they make computers, keyboards. So I knew what they're. I got confused with something else. Never mind. They do make keyboards though too, so I was right. Got to calm down. Starbucks. Ooh, yeah. So cost basis on the penny 85.50 got tapped. So now it is a. The big question here is Starbucks going to go back into these triggers to the downside? I tell you what, when this thing does flip to the upside, it's going to be delightful. But that time might not be now. I'm going to get rid of this really quick. I want to see what your channel's looking like. I like to give it the points of contact. So, all right. So let's just talk about it this way, because when you hit a 24-hour cost basis and you bounce, there is a period of lag, right? But the answer here is simple, right? 87.50 is where you need to break back up above. That is a period. That is an end. That is a story. Period, end of story. That is where you pop back up and out, right? 24-hour candle close above it or open outside of it. So we have that down. We also know that cost basis would drive us into a new low. That new low would be the 50% mark in the box below. That would be 81.75. So now we're in limbo. We don't know. And that's okay because we can go to the 4-hour. Do you see how I couldn't find it? I just found the answers that I needed to find. It took me fucking 30 seconds, right? Above, below, and then I go down. Blue skidoo my ass to the 4-hour. Now I can see. That is the 50% mark of the fucking red candle in front of me. So I can rest assured if the imbalance and the previous top of this box is broken out above, you'll aim for the first green candle to your left, and that will be 88.86. Keep it simple. If you need to record what I just said and just play it on repeat tomorrow morning, do that, you know? But at the end of the day, this is what you're looking at on the hourly, right? And the 30-minute. Now, I can already tell you that that's probably going to be a bitch and rejection, right? If it does happen. 8:30. You can go ahead and send them to the gulag. But you have a box under here, right? Each one of these boxes that we're pointing out, look at that empty space underneath you. That's a vulnerability. You don't want this to turn into consolidation, which a lot of the times when you're in between two signals, it can. I actually really don't like that you have that empty space under there. That's gonna be iffy because look at where the empty space ends. All the way down at the bottom. You would have already fell underneath 86.34. So you can start to see the dangers. Go to the 5-minute. Oh, beautiful. Guess what? Here's what I think happens based on what I see now. I could see Starbucks popping up, gapping up, and hitting 87, leaving empty space behind for a potential reversal right back down. Because anytime we do this all the time, right? If you guys are in Discord or when we play things to the upside, right? Where's our stop loss? Right there, right? So same difference when you break up and you In this case, right, we're passing the baton, but we could look at it from a rock climber perspective as well. When you grab onto that, you need to make sure that your anchor, your fucking safety rope, is on that ledge. So it would be not a surprise to see a gap up rejection leave empty space behind so you can dump to your next target, right? And more, which 83.22 would be your target there. Our first intraday target, but just floor. All right. Guys, if you're on TikTok, I cannot really see your comments or anything like that. I am in the free Discord, which is in the link in my bio, which is on the website. And on the website, it's the little Discord icon at the top. All right. Let's see here. We got Google down. Oop. Do you want Google? There's a small difference here. Okay. So this one, damn, dude, that was some bitchin' ass analysis going into earnings, wasn't it? I don't know if you guys remember what we talked about. I said shoot up into the empty space and then rip everybody's contracts to shreds in that box. And I'm pretty sure, based on the complaints that I saw from people who took Google, that is exactly what they did. So, where are you now? What is above and what's below? Two most important statements we have in our arsenal, right? That is below. Now, what's above is your box. I know that that's a box, right? Or at least a range. And I'll go to the 4 hour. Okay, so now I know we're retesting the floor, and I now know that we have a perfect, beautiful box, and we'll get rid of this range that we have over here. So look at the wick. The wick retests the floor. That tells you exactly where Google goes back up to retest its cost basis of 194.50. So if you did have some sort of bounce here, it would likely be there. If you do not, and you see another leg down, the wick that is closest to you is telling you where you're going to hit. That is your next box, and that is the 4 hour 184.40, right? Cost basis 183. From there, it would be really the bottom of that box. But now we see something that drives us into where sellers control the price. That is a nice little juicy kick, right? Into the empty space or into below that. So now it would be right around 180 flat that you'd be targeting to the downside. All right. Lucid. Now this one failed, right? Well, let's not call it that. It didn't fail, but empty space, right? And you dump pretty fucking fast through that. You had a little choppiness right around here, but other than that, you did exactly what you're supposed to do. And one of the ways that we could tell that that was going to happen was obviously closing back down underneath that major sell wall. And we did see some pretty nasty reversal to the upside that just flatlined at 315. Now that you are in between a box that you broke out from and in between the box that you just, or really the floor that you just lost, there could be some bouncing. Now, the 2 hour will likely reveal to us where that occurs. And here we go. Now, it's pretty ugly. I'll go to the hourly. See, I don't need to bullshit. I just go to where it makes sense. Do you see how clean that is comparatively to the 2 hour? Points of contact, 1, 2. Points of contact right here. We could almost call that 3. Cost basis 250. Small baby box, can't ignore it, but it has to be included, right? 257. And you have empty space up there to go and retest. So if that's something that you want to get back into because you're looking at the, hold on, wait for it, the potential downtrend, look at the points of contact. As I draw that up. So if you're looking for this to channel up, which is typically, again, what happens when you move into that empty space quickly, consolidation happens, and then you open up and typically retest what you broke down from. All right. Pre-market up, or PM up. Oh, we already did this one. Yeah, sorry. Kroger. How long do you typically hold your contracts? I would say on average for about 2 to 3 days, maybe less, right? Like, thanks for bringing Neo up. Neo was something that we had I would say, a 3 stage plan on, right? We had the initial trade, which was out of this baby box, right? And we were looking through for a punchback. Now, again, I don't know. I said this looks like something that could squeeze out. That's all I knew about the stock. It just looked like a good setup to squeeze out. It's sitting at its lows. It's boxed up. Nobody wants to sell it any further. You've got gaps to the upside. And so this was something because, and this is going to be important. So remember this, because there was resistance in front of us, like this box and that box, right? I had to take contracts that made sense. I added a week. I added a week. I added a week, right? Now I'm in $7 calls going out till mid September, right? One, two, three. So I'm giving myself even more time. Again, I'm playing with profits. It is literally free. I don't, whatever happens on Neo, if I stop out on it, oh well, because it's rooted in the trade that we took out of the box. But because there was resistance in front of us, the contracts that I choose correlate to the fact that I know that. Now, you might ask, why do I need to buy extra time because there's a resistance in front of me? Because you're going to respond to each resistance. And if your contract expires soon and it's not in the money, it has only extrinsic value. And extrinsic value, right, is oftentimes dictated on whether or not that contract can actually close in the money. And so if it's close to being an expiration and it pulls away, you're losing money. But if you are outside of 25 days of expiration, or even, even if you're within it, but if you're outside of it, that doesn't affect you as much because you still have time value, right? You still have more time. So you don't lose as less or as much. So if I am trading into empty space where I don't expect resistance, that's where I get away with murder, right? Because I'm able to buy contracts that are incredibly cheap, trade them where there is no resistance, sell them to some dork at resistance, and then keep it pushing. So hopefully that was a good little explanation. All right. JBL down. He's following everyone watching this TikTok live and giving free. Wait, what? We hold to targets. Wait, who are you talking about? Am I missing something? How long we typically hold between your contracts? He's following everyone watching this TikTok live and giving free trading guidance and signals. Oh, are you talking about? There's somebody in this live. Speaking of, um, I probably don't need to say any names, but I know that there is damn well somebody in here right now. I saw your little Discord. I saw the description of the Discord. I don't usually say things. I like to let things play out, make you think that you're getting away with it, but I'll give you a chance here. Low risk, high reward, maybe ends with capital. If that's you, you don't need to be, get the fuck out of here. If you feel like you can sell something to somebody, right, then you should be not in my Discord. Period. Now, if you're planning on stealing signals, I'm already in your Discord. You don't know who I am or what the name is, but I promise you, I'm already in there. So as soon as I see some sketchy shit, I mean, depends on how I feel that day, but we'll get you out of there. I mean, seriously, did you really, is that what you were born to do? Were you really born to copy somebody else's shit, ride somebody else's coattails because you don't contain the talent yourself or the work ethic to get anywhere in life? And so now you're borrowing somebody else's hard work because you're lazy? Or maybe your parents made you feel like you weren't good enough. That's not my problem. Figure it out. But I promise you,
Yeah.
you know what? Let's get this guy out of here. Ugh. I'm telling you, I'm not playing around with this whole fucking stealing members and all this, trying to fucking do the. At this point, I'm probably going to sue you, just for fun. Or I'll just make your life so hard. I'll message everybody who tries to join your group and offer them free education. I will make your life just. I have nothing but time and money. and this. So I just wanted to put that warning out there, just in case anybody was feeling froggy. Ooh, why is the bid already at 203? Oh, I'm sure you're gonna see soon. Trust me.
No, I didn't need.
Decade. Better not be. Um, I'm gonna drive to South Carolina, set your farm on fire, eat your animals raw. Yeah, I'll take a trip up. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Cade's farm, but I gotta take those class rings back.
No.
A blast. It means he has thermite inside of the soil. So as soon as you get in there, it's red light, green light. Oh my God. Get Jesus, bro. Yes, that's Astro. Yeah, we were doing so good. On TTD, I took it today. I know a guy. Did you guys hold any positions over the weekend? Yeah, we have a little bit of speculative shit. I think I'm not sure what everybody else was doing, but all right, let's you know what I thought was so funny is the days before they actually put out the ad, I saw the ad. I don't know if you guys actually remember. We were live. It said Sydney Sweeney, AO, not my son, but American Eagle. They're going to be linking up to target Gen Z. Dead ass, dude. Like, what the fuck? Y'all fucking. I see a gap down to. I see $8. I think. Oh, are you taking it up? Uh,
He was gonna push him.
well, you guys are. This is And now you guys know, now you guys all know why I just do TikTok lives on Sunday nights. Monday through Friday, it's a little different. Um, for for earnings, I could actually this could be a good straddle. I see a gap down at $8 on the wiki little sneaky. But 8.15 and then to the upside you got empty space to 15. So yeah, straight up. Well, damn. What the fuck did that? That thing's just been hovering up there. Holy shit.
The 24. Like, Brazil killing the GVs.
Yeah, I've had a
They're
firm
21. 21.
1970. If you take
Yeah.
profit before you hit $18, you're banned. I love taking G. I mean, it sounds like a growth enhancing or something. All right. Yeah, that GME got me crazy. Um, don't talk to me about low T. Did you say low T? Listen here, buddy. AMD is earnings, right? Yeah, this week. Man, I feel like this one's gonna rip someone's ass. All right, I'm doing two more, guys. I gotta get out of here. I can feel Peyton's blood pressure.
Yeah, good night, guys. Good night, everybody.
Tomorrow. Yeah, I won't be here in the morning.
You start on Wednesday.
See, our school district was like, we're not doing that dumb shit anymore. Even the teachers hated that. I really don't really. Yeah, when I look at this, I see a target down of 147.26 on AMD. I'm looking at previous price targets that you've kind of dumped to. I will say though, AMD's earnings are kind of shit. If you go look back, they're sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit, but mostly shit. But yeah, mostly shit. Look at this shit. So this is like I feel like takes 2 seconds to go through and just be like, does this shit actually rip? And when it does rip, where does it rip, right? Coming maybe a long channel down, right? Some sort of context clue. So if you're looking short, again, that's really the only thing I can see other than maybe 199. Yeah, for sure, John. Yeah, I think, I mean, for earnings, that's what I'm saying. I'm not really seeing a clear setup, but for trading wise, I see a target of 161, no problem. So, Neil, there you go. I did UPS. I'm not really a big fan of that one. So, well, pause. I'm not. I don't hate it. I do think that eventually this will make for a huge money making opportunity. However, put that back. The weekly is a monstrosity where you definitely could be looking at more 82 down or even 80 down. So honestly, I'd be focused on that. So, Hodge, are you on here? Who's Hodge? Thanks for the gifts.
Chef,
Yeah. Hey, what's up?
I just want to ask you, or you need to do some stuff because
I,
I'm gonna go to,
you're gonna go to the bank?
yeah, I'm gonna transfer to the
Okay. I'll try after. I gotta put the kids to bed first, but um, yeah, I'll. Nah, Ivy got approved, so she's trying to get cash in there. So, um, I'm done. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go put the kids to bed. That's it. Last strike. When you're playing video games and your wife like looks at you like from the corner of like a door down the hallway. I just got that look, but I'm not playing games. I get scared sometimes. Jorge?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Bro, listen. I mean, me and Bobby will be playing video games, dude, and we both say that shit. So, all right, let me go ahead and stop.